What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're still here in Texas. We're gonna go see Danny. He's got a beautiful, huge SPS tank. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen pictures. So let's go grab him and ask him a bunch of questions. Let's go, come on. Danny, nice to meet you. Thank you for having us over, man.
Thanks for coming.
I mean, you told me you got 2 tanks. I'm impressed. Let's start with this one first. Big question, how big is this tank?
This is a standard Planet 210.
210?
It's 6 feet wide, 2 feet front to back, and 29 inches tall.
Beautiful tank. How long has this thing been running?
It got wet October of 2021.
October 2021.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this for?
Man, I started in the hobby in 2013, but I wasn't really good at it. I was just kind of winging it. And my brother was in the business, and so he hooked me up with a 90-gallon Oceanic bow front, threw some LPS corals in there.
Man, when this boat beat you, you're in deep trouble. You design the whole thing. You decide who lives, who goes in, what gets trimmed. You literally, you play the entire thing, you know?
Yeah, my wife gets upset about that when I take a fish out that she likes, and I'm like, no, he was nipping at the corals. He had to go.
It's not easy. So what made you go all SPS?
On this tank, man, you know how it is. It's the challenge. Once you realize, you know, how much fun the hobby is and you get into it and you see God's creation and a living art, it just is like fascinating. Then you realize how difficult the SPS are.
Yeah.
And it's just the challenge of it. So because I love all the fancy color morphs, I love the collector side of it. I know a lot of people think that's lame, but man, to me, that's cool. Having the cool stuff that's recognizable to people that know the hobby.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize this. When we all get into the hobby, the first thing we want is moving corals.
Yeah.
And we see our proportion, we don't like it. And everybody tells you, dude, give it enough time, you're gonna land, and that's where everybody ends up, just keeping aquaports. Don't ask me why, but isn't that true?
It is, and I just like them better. I know, you know, everybody comes into my house and they're gravitated to the flowy, great colors one, and this one's got great colors.
Please pick up that tangle. Just a quick like, all right, enough. Enough, that's for the next video.
So everybody gravitates to that tank, but this is my favorite. I love the acros, man. I love them. They're just awesome. You know, that's my favorite.
This tank, you were telling me you run Moonshine method.
I do.
You say you don't do water changes.
No, not anymore.
For the past 4 months or so, you were telling me?
Correct. So I was reluctant to give up the water changes. A lot of people who run Moonshine do it so that they don't have to do water changes.
Yes.
I was reluctant because, man, I was just afraid it was going to leave some pollutant in there. So for a long time, I kept doing it. But then I stopped because it kept throwing off I kept having to do large correction doses at each ICP. Yeah. So when I stopped doing that and I leave it alone, everything stays more stable. So 4 months, no problems. And the only issue is I let my strontium dip a little bit and my fluoride dip a little bit, and a few things paled out. But, you know, as you can see, it's still doing okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. The things are growing, you know. Food, what do you feed this tank?
I feed just nori every day for the tanks and frozen mysis, and that's it.
Simple.
It's simple. And I don't do any of the fancy stuff. I used to. I didn't see any difference. And I always had to battle high phosphates. So I quit messing with all that stuff and everything balanced out. I didn't see any issues or any difference. So I just quit messing with it. Now, occasionally when my phosphates get too low, I'll feed some reefroids, but that's about it.
And what do you consider too low?
Like 0.03, 0.04.
So where you like to keep them at?
I like to keep them 0.06 to 0.08, anything 0.1 or lower.
Okay, and your nitrates?
Nitrates, I try to keep them 15 to 20 like you guys recommend.
Okay, I like that number. Really, around no less than 10, no more than 20, 30.
Yeah, I used to have
30 is a happy number.
I used to have them down around 5, and everything was just too pale.
So you get richer, the polyp extension becomes nicer.
Yeah.
And your calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, what numbers you aim to?
Alkalinity 8 to 8.5, calcium 420 to 440, magnesium 1300 to 1350.
And how often you test your water?
Every day. I mean, every day.
Every day.
Everything is on automated testers.
So you don't do any tests on your own? Everything is just on reading automatic?
I verify once a week. But
so you do?
Yes, I verify once a week.
Salifert test kits or something else?
I use Salifert for calcium and magnesium. I use Hanna for alkalinity, and I use Hanna for nitrate and phosphate.
Cool.
Yeah.
And for lighting, can we check up here what you have on us?
So I've got a Aquatic Life T5 hybrid fixture with Radeon XR30 Gen 6 Pros.
So you got 3 extra 30s jumper, and then you still got T5s. Yeah. That's cool. You got 4 bulbs?
Yeah, I got 4 bulbs. I run 2 actinic and 2 blue plus.
I forgot the color, dude. It's been like 8 years, maybe more. I haven't run T5. I used to know every color combination of the bulb, guys. So we're like ancient technology here now.
So on the reason I keep running them is because on my frag tank that's only LEDs, there's like little back sides of the SPS that don't have the color. But when I grow them in here, it's like a blanket of light, and it's full color all the way around the Aquapora.
The new aqua illumination lights that just came out with, they got a pretty good blanket. I like it a lot. I just start trying them. They're really good lights. I'm very happy with them.
I hope they work as good as T5s because I want to get rid of the T5 someday.
I've been trying them. They're pretty amazing.
Awesome.
Earlier, I saw a big old wave that you were doing nutrient.
Yeah, I used the nutrient transport mode from the Mobius app.
It was doing a wave back and forth.
Rocking the whole
front
thing.
to back, not side by side. No, front to back.
Because I have 4 MP40s on the back glass facing forward, breaking on the glass, coming down and spreading. Creates great turbulence, and it creates great water flow, but it's not hitting anything directly. But I'm getting a lot of tremendous flow. All the polyps move all the time.
You know, if you weren't a realtor, you would have been an engineer. I can tell you're a thinker, bro. I can tell when people think too much. He's one of them for sure, bro.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
I've been to a few engineers home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like they're just such a thing. I'm the opposite, dude. I like to keep it so simple, you know.
So I used to have them on the sides, like everybody else does, and I like this better.
So let's talk about some of your fishing a little bit.
Sure.
That's the biggest algae blenny I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
no more blenny. That thing is huge.
Yeah, she's fat, man. I got her big. All my fish in here came from Elliot at Marine Collectors.
Gotcha.
They come in preconditioned and they come in great. Here in a minute, you'll see my powder blue swim around. He's huge, a good 10, 12 inches, one of my favorite fish.
You got 2 showpieces. This is the most flawless, beautiful powder blue I've ever seen, the biggest one ever.
Big sucker.
And then the Regal Angel, dude. That thing is
pretty.
No,
that's one of
my
favorites.
He picks a little SPS here and there, but
he does. In fact, you'll notice that all the tips don't have polyp extension.
That's why.
But deep inside the
that's your baby. You don't care, right?
Yeah, I let it go because he doesn't destroy them, you know. So I let it go.
Wow, man. So let's talk about some of the Octoporas that you got in here.
Sure.
Obviously, you got a Montipora here, the Jedi Mind Trick. You got the Mystic Sunset.
I call that my immortal Pavona. It was my first tester SPS coral when I set the tank up, and it went through a lot. It turned totally gray one time. I made a lot of mistakes learning how to get this going.
I think it's a gorgeous
and now
coral.
It's happy.
And then this one, I'm trying to think of the name. Is
Justin Fox Kamikaze.
Yes, yeah, gorgeous Aquaphora. I love it a lot.
Beautiful.
Man.
OG Tyree Pink Lemonade. I love that one.
Man, that's a finicky coral, man. Let me tell you something, man. It's been around for a long time, but
yeah,
I love it, man. I mean, dude, you're definitely killing it with this thing, man.
Thank you. The substrate, I had sand, and when I moved the power heads to the back, it was blowing it everywhere. So I put the 2 little fishies reborn media on the bottom. Yeah. And
you're watching too many of my videos then.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And I started using it 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm in love. We're having it more.
I get those. Yeah, man. We love your videos.
Thank you for the support, man. You know, appreciate you watching them.
We copy all your good ideas.
There you go. Can we look at some of your filtration?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So this filtration is also attached to the other tank that we're going to be filming later.
Yep.
And they're both connected to this.
That's right.
How big is the sump?
This sump is 60 inches wide,
okay,
24 inches front to back, and 18 inches tall.
It's pretty big.
It's a Synergy Reef SK60. I ordered this custom. I put my company logo on it and had it exactly set up the way I wanted, and they were great.
And then these are all your moonshines. These are your dailies right here.
Yeah, these are the dailies right here. Yeah.
Okay, and this goes with the dose controller from Neptune that you do your alkalinity, your calcium, and your magnesium.
That's right.
Anything else that you dose with the controller other than those 3?
I dose Kalkwasser.
Have you ever had any problems with this whole automation where something goes out of whack?
No.
You got it down to a science. That's the thinking.
Yeah, and I watch it all the time. So what I enjoy 2 hobbies, not just one. The automation is a whole separate hobby. The reefing's another one.
See, I don't like automation too much. I'm the opposite. But again, I'm not against it.
I love having everything on my phone. It tells me if something's wrong, and I can quickly fix it.
See, Josh, he's our general manager. He runs the store. He's more into this type of stuff. You know, me, I'm a simple guy. I like to keep it simple.
I dose all this stuff manually because it only takes me like 5-10 minutes a day, and it's just few little milliliters each. I could put those on dosers, but you know, that'd be a lot of dosers.
And this thing has also a UV sterilizer.
It does. It has a 40-watt Pentair that's piped through the wall into the garage side and comes back in the top.
And we have an ATO right there from Tom Z.
Yep.
Reef Octopus protein skimmer. That's a 200 model.
Yep, 200
Okay.
EXT.
EST, and then you got the Clarity, the roller mat right here.
Yep.
Do you ever feel like having the roller mat all the time, it gets the tank too clean?
It's possible. I don't know.
So,
But the reason I have it is because it keeps the water clear and it keeps detritus out of my sump.
got you. So I noticed that you have a little bit of red slime,
Yeah.
and I noticed a little bit of red slime sometimes can be a result of a tank being too clean.
Yeah.
And I noticed that sometimes when people run those filter pads all the time, you're literally getting everything out of the tank.
Right.
And I feel like we get a good stuff and bad stuff too.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like your tank might be a little too clean. Something to consider.
Maybe I could take those off and the red slime go away.
For a few days, something
try
to try.
it.
Believe it or
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
I learned this from Josh. Josh is always reading. He goes, Victor, the slime is an indication the tank too clean. You got to feed more. I was,
Wow.
What do you mean feed more?
Yeah.
I start feeding more, shut off the skimmer, got rid of the filter socks, and he went away.
You know, what you're saying sounds right because I let my nitrates bottom out. They went to 0 for a few days, and then this came back after that. Yeah.
Give it a shot, something different. So I want to ask you a few questions about here.
Sure.
You're pretty overkill here. You got a beast pump for return for the day?
Yeah, they're running at
That's
50%.
the thinker on here.
I got 2. So I had a return pump that rusted out on this tank before I had them running on the same sump.
Yeah.
I used to have them running separate, and there was too much work. I couldn't enjoy the corals. I was too busy tinkering all the time. And so when that crashed and I had that problem, I switched to the Abyss because they're just much more reliable.
You love your technology, I can tell.
Yes, yes.
Anyhow, so what do we got here? We got the Trident,
Yep, the OG
And-
Trident, the NP,
the MP.
and the Reef Factory Smart Tester for phosphates.
And how long have you been running these 3 devices here?
I've been running the NP since it came out.
Okay.
Since I got the tank, I had run the OG Trident, and the Reef Factory not that long, about 6-8 months,
Okay.
and it's been very accurate.
Also, am I going to see you this weekend at the Reefapalooza show at Texas?
Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it.
You wouldn't miss it, right? Well, anyway, if you've seen this video, I'm sure it's going to be too late for you to make it to Reefapalooza, Texas, because that actually starts this Saturday, or Thursday, in 2 days.
Yep.
But we're going to be in Orlando, April 26th and 27th. We're going to be in New York at the end of June for Reefapalooza, and we're going to be in California at the end of August. So if any of you guys happen to be from that area, come check us out. If you happen to come to the booth, we're going to be giving away 53 t-shirts to the first 50 people to come and say hi, saying that they saw this video. Come and claim your t-shirt. Let's go check out your equipment real quick.
All right. Yeah, this is, my wife about killed me when I installed this door. So that's where all the automation equipment is.
Oh, that's why I couldn't see it from the opposite end.
And I just did that to keep it out of the wet sump and where I can access it on the side.
Cool.
Because we wedged it into that niche in the room. So,
All right.
And then in here, out here is where all the rest of the business is. So this is my QT tank. This is my saltwater mixing station. The UV you were talking about and the dosers are over here with the CO2 scrubber and the chiller down low. That's
Well,
it, man.
The man is not playing around. Well, Dan, thank you, buddy, for inviting us over. I enjoyed
bet.
both of your tanks. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. We've been traveling all day. We've been driving around nonstop. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Give us a like. Post some comments below. Jump into the video and respond to some of the questions that people are going to have.
Will do.
See you guys on the next episode.